What up, guys? Jason Geiman here with PressureWashHelp.com, King of Pressure Washing. And today I got a special guest on that I just saw him the other day. He was at one of my training classes, and we are going to have a good talk. So I just got back from Virginia. We had a class over in Virginia, and that is what we did. And so I went over there. I actually met another pressure washer that watches us all the time, Mr. Logan Majors. We got some good train footage. I will have that coming up between probably for a little while. In the next couple of weeks, it'll be out of that. And so that is awesome that I did. So before we get into this comment here, somebody made a comment on my before we even got started, which is a freaking amazing comment, is Jason, never seen yard signs in my surrounding area. I put out 70 in the last 2 weeks and my phone hasn't stopped ringing. I'm at $4,700 and just off of signs. Thank you. That is amazing. And then the next comment said, I'm ordering 100 more. Yeah, I might order 500 more at that rate. But yes, that is awesome. And so this is what we can do by doing signs and different things, especially, if they're not in your area and that kind of stuff at this. Jason, thank you. Have set up a trailer and have been very busy so far this year. Thanks again. So before we get started on here, I just wanted to say a little bit about, the grass is starting to get cut. I've probably seen 20 people cutting grass this weekend. Yesterday was beautiful. It was 70 degrees. Today, well, not so much. It's great Cincinnati weather. It was a whopping 45 degrees, and the real feel with the wind was like 30 degrees. So, today not so much, but yesterday. Jason put he's got an $18,000 month with one person working part-time, which is freaking amazing. That is awesome. So before I keep reading these comments, we're going to go down a path of here. Benjamin asked where Jason is from. He is from the great state of Florida that, a year ago, about right out a year ago, if I went back in my messages, I about guarantee you is he would tell you that you can't make money in Florida. There's only $99 guys in Florida. And Jason, being the great guy that I am, didn't allow that to set into his mindset. And I really pushed him to work over that mindset issues. So just got back from Virginia, got to meet some really cool people, got to meet and see some really cool stuff. And we got to do a class. There was 6 people there, so it was a smaller class. It was actually a nice class size. I was able to make sure everybody got to do their own side of the house in the shed. And so that was an awesome thing about being a smaller class. You really got the hands-on. And there wasn't so many people around that you didn't know what. Everybody could kind of see what I was talking to, helping them out, and that kind of stuff. So, all right, enough with that. Let's get started with Tanner. Tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, that kind of thing.
So I'm from Illinois. Just got married in July, actually, to my beautiful wife. She's amazing. Met her out in San Diego where we both went to school, and we actually moved back because she's from Wisconsin. It's just crazy how things happen. So we're both from the Midwest. We moved back to be closer to family. I've always been in sales. The first sales job I did was selling wine. Second one was selling payroll. And the one I'm doing right now, actually, I have a full-time job. I work for a pharmaceutical company selling pharmaceuticals. So it's always been a passion of mine to get out and be a hunter and go attack. And this year I was actually thankful enough and grateful enough to win President's Club and Rookie of the Year in my company. But it's just something, it was cool, but it just didn't do what I thought it would do. And nothing does. The Lord and Savior, he's the one that does that. And, I've learned that the hard way my whole life, just as we all probably have. And, it's just something where I was like, I want to start my own thing where I can go out and see exactly what I can do with my own product or my own service. And here I am in the pressure washing industry.
So how are you a pharmaceutical? I thought pharmaceuticals were only hot young blondes out there, not old.
I took my wig off for the video.
Is that what it is? So what? So what did you go to school for? Did you go to school for sales, or what did you go to school for?
Yeah, I did some sales classes, but for social science, so the study of people and the study of how people react to things, the study to why people do things, and I think that's been a really good thing for me in sales. And just, man, it's just confidence.
So there's one thing that you have that could probably kick somebody in the butt to help them get going. What did you get a scholarship of going out to that school for?
Punting some football. So yeah,
punting football. So he's a punter.
Yeah, my wife is the real athlete, the track star.
But that's a good skill to have, because that way you can actually get around and go kick people in some tail to get it done,
Yes, sir.
So you went to school and now you're pharmaceutical. You got number one in sales. What made you want to be a pressure washer? What is the thing that is wanting you to be a pressure washer?
So I'll go back a little bit. This crazy COVID stuff started, a year ago, and we're sitting my wife and I were renting a home. That was in Wisconsin, actually. And we're literally sitting there, and I told her, I said, if things go south and we end up losing our jobs, like a lot of people did, it's a terrible thing that happened, but it did happen. So I said, we need to start our own business. So during this time with this craziness going on, we can use that money instead of using the money that's coming in from our job. So she was cleaning the kitchen, and I said, we're going to start a cleaning company. So that day, started the LLC, did everything I had to do, didn't know what I was doing, but did it. And a month later, we were cleaning houses every single day of the week. We were just knocking it out of the park, and ended up hiring some people, and that went south real quick. They were breaking things in houses and everything. So we're like, man, it's time to just get back to focusing on our jobs. And, I have a goal to win President's Club and work. So I said, it's time to just focus in on that. And, I ended up winning that thing, God willing. I won that. And here I am again saying, I think it's time to start something up. So we just purchased our first home, and we got this thing. It was a white house, and it was about as nasty as it gets. So I said, it's time to get a pressure washer. Maybe I'll start looking this up, seeing what's going on. And I saw Jason, saw his classes, and the people on this thing that are just making money left and right, having a good time, and it just seems like a great community to be a part of. And that's exactly what it's been so far. And this training that I just went to with Jason was just an absolute blessing. And what I got from it is something that all of you need, whether you've been in this industry or whether you've not. So whether you're new.
Awesome. So when you started pressure washing, when you pressure wash your house versus the class, what are some things that you did back then that you realized that you would have learned in the class that you might not have done things to your house at that point?
Well, you're going to have my wife kill me right now, because I just went and bought the pressure washer from some place in Wisconsin. And it's a 4 gallon a minute, 4,000 PSI. It's a strong little machine. And I put the tip on and didn't put it on all the way, and sort of shot a hole through my siding like a shotgun. So it's just crazy. I've learned, and yes, I'm from Chicago. Yes, Nick. Yep. I've spoken with you, Nick. Yep. From Chicago, from Cary, Illinois. So that's where I live right now.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just things like that just the little things like that I've learned. And obviously that's more common sense, but things that go along with that I've learned at Jason's training and from his videos especially.
So you want to be a pressure washer in 2021. What's one of your goals, or some of your goals, a couple of your goals, one or two of your goals for the 2021?
For 2021, I really, truly believe that I could do 100K. I do. With all that I see people doing, and how they do it. I've already closed deals without even having the equipment to do it. So here I go, and I'm ready to rock. I'm ready
Wait
to
a
go
minute.
full.
You mean you've closed deals and don't even have your equipment ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir. Yep.
That is what I'm talking about. Actually, we was on one of our lives tonight for the Zoom calls that you get if you're a member in the Pressure Wash Help Group, and that is one of those things that, he's like, I got $1,400 for my stimulus, and what do I need to do with it? What pressure washer do I need to do with it? And I'm all about buying a pressure washer and stuff, but I would much rather you spend money on marketing and figuring out how to get people to buy before we even get that. We can schedule out 2 weeks out. They don't know we don't even have a pressure washer yet. And so these are some things that, I look at, and I want to make sure that you all can grow a business and you can get work at the end of the day.
Yes.
Oh, so you're the guy that I talked to on the phone, is what Nick said.
Yes. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Nick.
Nick is an awesome guy. He just sent me a message earlier today. He tied 2 4-gallon-a-minute machines together, and he's like, man, that is a world of difference, and that is a game changer. So you actually got to learn with an 8-gallon-a-minute. That's what we had on the truck, and yes. This thing was so powerful that we had to turn the pressure down, otherwise the surface cleaner wouldn't even stay on the ground.
Yeah.
So Benjamin put 100K is a good goal. You can do it.
Can all do it. Let's do it.
And these are some things that I always push of, when we set goals, we write them down, we tell any other people, and that can help us definitely do that. So what on the sales side of things, what do you think will help you close more jobs and get higher tickets?
Well, I probably did it backwards from how other people did it, but I walked into a commercial job, and it was an Olive Garden. And I literally, Jason was like, how in the world did you do that? I just walked in, asked where the GM was. We spoke. He said, possibly. So, okay, sounds good. We'll talk a little bit. Got his email and everything, sent him a follow-up, because that in sales, the follow-up is the most important thing. I don't care how many times you have to follow up. So
I mean, are you talking like following up 1 or 2 times, or how many times should we be following up?
So I'm working on a Chick-fil-A right now. I've walked in there 3 times, and I've emailed probably 10 times, and we've spoken every time, and it's going good. I'm actually going in there tomorrow. I'm walking right in there again. I'm going to ask where the guy's at, because they do not want to say no to your face, and you can really end up closing somebody. Just be confident. It sucks. I told my wife when I got in the car, I was like, it does suck, because you're going in there, they don't really want to see you, but it's part of business. You got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
The Olive Garden, though, I went in there, and he ended up calling me back after a few follow-up emails. I went in there, and I told myself I'm not leaving until I close this deal. So we walked the whole premises. We walked inside, and he's like, yeah, just send me a quote over email. And I said, let's not do that. Let's talk about it right here, you and I. Let's work on a price, and let's close this thing right here, so I don't have to email you and we go back and forth about price. Let's not do that. Let's cut the middle thing out, and let's just end it right here. We did that, and it's done. So now I'm on monthly reoccurring with them.
So following up is very important. It don't matter if we're talking about pressure washing or selling drugs. We still got to follow up,
Yep.
And as the things that you have sold in your past there, how do you overcome the no? How do you take that as what is it one thing that you do to help overcome the no?
That is the fun part, because that is someone saying, your services aren't worth it, or what you're selling isn't worth it. And in my heart, I want to make sure that they think it is worth it. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get back in front of it. It's a no is like someone just telling you, it should build a fire in you. It should build a fire that says, I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to get it. I'm going to change that. So, and a lot of it in sales is making that relationship. When you walk in there, you're not sitting there and all you know is power washing. No, you notice his shoes, you notice her shoes, you notice, do you have a family? Where are you from? I'm from here as well. I have a family. I have a daughter on the way, and I'm trying to provide. So here's my services. please, let's sit down and let's close this deal. I want to work for you, and I want to know exactly what's needed, and let me do the work. So,
And so with that said, the no, a lot of times people they struggle with that. That's probably the biggest thing that I see people trying to get into this business is dealing with the no. And so that's kind of why I wanted to hit on that of what are some things that we can do to help us overcome the no.
so if you've got any gumption, any competitiveness, any go-getter mentality, like I know all of you do, because you can't be in this industry and start your own business, especially with any product or any service, if you don't have that in you. And if you hear a no, first of all, if it's a real no and you're not going to get it, it's time to go to the next one. But if not, you need to just keep going, keep trying, keep going after it, because I'm telling you, things will work out. They will.
And
Just like
as they say, usually a no just means you haven't sold them on it at this point.
yes,
A
your
no.
services don't mean enough to them yet. They don't trust you enough yet. So it's time to build a relationship, or it's time to prove why you're able to do the work that they need. So,
And as Benjamin put, trust is key. Make a friend, make a sale, get referrals. This is a guy that when I talk about LinkedIn and is successful on LinkedIn, this is the guy that I'm talking about right here that has done very well with LinkedIn. We did very well with LinkedIn too. And this guy did it last year and did probably 150, 200,000 from LinkedIn.
He's the one you were telling me about. That's awesome.
This is the guy that I'm telling you about that I speak a lot about. And this isn't a guy that is just going on LinkedIn saying, hey, I'm a pressure washer, I'm a pressure washer, I'm a pressure washer. No, he's sitting there commenting on other people's stuff. He's doing what he needs to do. He's liking their stuff. He's sharing their stuff. He's doing the things that what you would do if you were friends and you were networking. LinkedIn is a networking spot. So that is what you got to do.
Yep.
I was talking to one of the guys that went to my training last year, and my Christmas light training he's done $10 million in the sign business, and he is a very big networker. He knows everybody in town. And when you get to that point, that can help you out a lot, because it's not all about you at the end of the day. You were talking about you're looking at their shoes, and that's a lot of times why women can sell pressure washing over the phone better than men can. Because a lot of times we go down the road of, I'm a pressure washer and I use this and blah, 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 and they could care less. And that's probably why you are so good at the sales side of things, of even, usually pharmaceuticals are all hot blondes. This is one of those things that you've learned to turn that male thing that probably we all do, because even in the drug side of things, you could go down that road of drugs, but that's what you got to do. Is that not correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
Awesome. So, getting past the no, what are some things that we can do to help us get past the no? Do you have any questions that we can maybe kind of go around the no?
So, if I'm just talking sales in general, obviously not pressure washing, because I've only sold so much as I have, because I've just started 2 months ago, but just getting around a no, it's the power of going back in that store, going back to that person, giving an extra phone call. Because I'm telling you, the Olive Garden guy, that's a perfect example. He was like, we have a guy that does it. We have a little pressure washer in the back and he does it. And it was that was a no to me. So I gave him the answer to, does he have the right equipment? Is he doing it correctly? Is he killing your plants? Is he killing your grass? Is it wasting his time? Are you paying him to do something when you don't have to pay him? You got to dig deeper and deeper and deeper until you hit a pain point. Sales is about hitting a pain point where you can then turn that into profit for yourself.
That right there is gold. So finding that pain point, and kind of what I've been preaching here lately, and that's what I was saying about our phone script. When on my phone script is tell me about your project. they're going to tell me about their project, and that is going to give me a pain point that I can sell later down the road, that they told me what their pain point is. Yes, we are a customer service business that just so happens to do pressure washing. And so at the end of the day, when I say that, when we find their pain point and we can solve their problem, then we become their hero at that point.
Yes.
So, Jason, appreciate you creating a platform to meet some competition in my area. Sharing knowledge is key. And talking about competition, a lot of times, this is what I think about competition. When I talk about competitors, I think the competitors, if you know your competitors, it's not a bad thing. Here's the deal with competitors. With competitors, if you know 2 or 3 good competitors and you all are around the same price point, and when they're looking for another quote, give that competitor their name. What, Jason, you're telling me you're going to give a competitor name? Yeah, especially if I know that competitor is going to be way higher than me, then I'm going to do it all day long. Now, I'm not going to give a competitor that's cheaper than me, that's the $99 guy. No, I'm not going to do that. But being around your competitors is not a bad thing. That is things that when you are around your competitor, at that point, we can all raise our prices and we're all going to be the same. And then guess what happens? We all make more money. It's amazing how it happens.
Yep.
So what made you want to go to Virginia and take a pressure washing class?
I've watched a lot of your videos. I've seen a lot of people, like, look at all these people on here. It's a group that, I knew I needed to be a part of, and I knew I needed to learn more. It's just the fact that if you want to be good at something, you got to go be around people that are doing it and have done it. And the guy, Jason, right here, as you guys all know, has been there and done that, what we want to do. So in my crazy mind of wanting to be better each day, wake up and be better, I wanted to be around Jason and be around other folks that are really wanting to be better. And I believe I definitely came away better from that Virginia trip.
Awesome. And what does some things that you learned in there that helped you, that will help you be able to grow faster and help you be able to get to the next level faster at that point?
I mean, it's marketing. We're a marketing company, and you laid it out there perfectly, and you laid out each marketing thing and what we need to do for that. So it's just information, like this guy said, a fire hose of info. It's true. He sat there and gave it to us. It's the blueprint. Look at what he's done already. It's the blueprint of what he's done, and that's exactly what we all want to do. So why not get in person with them and learn exactly what's going on? And what I learned was that marketing. And today, I ran my Google ads. Jason was, talking about Google ads, ran the Google ad, got a call, went out there I told him the quote is happening in 2 hours. I'm not waiting on it. So we went there, did it, did the whole walk around the house. And I told myself, I'm not leaving here until I close this deal. And the guy, you give him the quote sheet and they just want to close the door and, okay, now I'll call your competitors, this and that. No, I waited there and said, let's do this now. Just like the Olive Garden thing, boom, closed, got the date, got the time, everything. And here we go. So.
Awesome. And so with the hands-on portion of the pressure washing, did that make things a lot clearer and just, that side of things?
It was literally baby steps of how to do it, and it laid it out there perfectly. We each had our own opportunity to get one side of the house or the shed, and we all learned from each other and watched you do it at first. So it was perfect, and now I'm not nervous at all to go out there and do someone's home. It's amazing.
So we had one guy in the class that I might have scared him a little bit. Why do you think I scared him a little bit?
Because you just speak the truth and you don't sugarcoat it, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. Well, actually, you showed him that pressure washing isn't too pretty once you shoot yourself with it.
And that's, and I do have some pictures of some pretty gruesome stuff of what a pressure washer can do. And, that goes back to the safety side of things, guys. Even if you haven't taken my course or any of that stuff, I don't want you to get hurt. The last thing I want to see is somebody get hurt. And so, you got to remember that we are dealing with high pressure. Even if we are using the soft tip nozzles in a pressure washer, you still have 4,000 psi when you pull that trigger. And so that is why I want to make sure that I want to scare you a little bit of that can happen. And so that's one thing that I really push is the safety side of things. Can't put two words together, but he knows more than anyone in the industry. That's why I love him. That's old Al. Jason saved my tank from blowing up. See, Al is one that he likes to. I talk a little bit about this of never mixing two chemicals that you don't know of. And so Al never went through my class. And so Al calls me up one day and he's like, my tank is about to blow up. And when I walk out in my garage, I about fall over. And I'm like, what did you put in your tank? And he's like, I put some citrus acid in it or something. And it was something that you shouldn't put in with bleach. And so you always got to be careful when we're doing this stuff. So we got to be careful with this stuff. It is very dangerous.
Another big piece of meeting you was knowing what not to mix and how to be safe. And that's important.
Awesome. I'm going to put a link up here. So if anybody wants to see my training classes, you can go to that right there and find out more. So we haven't, let's see. So starting out, self-limiting beliefs and stuff like that can kind of knock us down and disbelief doubts and do you think you can do it? And even as a new pressure washer starting a business, what has been some things that you've had to overcome to be able to keep moving and overcome those things?
The biggest thing, which I bet a lot of people think, is I don't have the right equipment, I don't have the right truck, I don't have the right trailer, I don't have any of this, and I'm going through the same thing. It's tough. But at the end of the day, Jason said it plenty of times, you need these few things, you can get going. And once you get going, then you can purchase those things and it'll start to come to fruition. But no need to worry. Just go and get sales. Go and get your confidence up by getting sales and going and talking to people. It's as simple as something like going to the bank to get my bank here in my little town. I went and got my business bank set up. And it just so happened that the president of the bank literally lives across the street. And now I'm going to be pressure washing the bank. So it's just meeting people and getting around people. And the banker, she got me into some referral network out here in my city. So it's just get out and go talk to people and, be confident in what you do, no matter what it is. And we all know that as men, just be confident and go get it.
Yes, absolutely. Why do you need a truck for?
You don't. You could walk it for all I care. Go do your neighbors.
Exactly. I don't have the right stuff either, and that is something that I think holds a lot of people back, that, they think you got to have this, that, and everything else at the end of the day. And that's not what you need at the end of the day. That's like I said on my Zoom call earlier today, I'm pushing people I'd rather you spend $1,000 in marketing and trying to get that phone to ring than $1,000 in equipment. And why is that? Because if we can't get the phone to ring without that $1,000, there's no way we're going to get the phone to ring with the $1,000 of that side of a brand new equipment. And so that is the goal right there.
So go to the training to learn how to get business. That's simple.
And the other thing too, and I hear it a lot, and you even said it, what talking about equipment, what is some things that you learned by going to the class that you wish you knew beforehand versus after?
So I bought a 4 gallon per minute, 4,000 PSI for pretty hefty price, when if I would have just gone to the training first before buying anything, I would have learned exactly what I need to buy and not be buying and wondering what I'm buying. Because I know there's probably a bunch of you out there, just like myself, that you're just out there buying things, and it's probably a waste. You don't need it. And if you go to his training, you'll learn exactly what you need, and there you go.
Exactly. And I hear that a lot of times when you come to training, I was going to buy this, or I bought I bought the noodle and I bought all this other stuff that I didn't need. And that's an issue that you don't want to get down that road of that.
Yep.
So what are some things what is your plan to start getting business?
Same thing I've been doing, during my job. I know, a lot of people are working their jobs or whatever, but if you have time off or on the weekends when you're not working, it's time to go either walk door to door. I'm going to be doing door hangers. I just did signs today. But the main thing is, you want commercial clients, go walk in there and go get them. Go. Why not? Why not be who you are, dress accordingly, look good, look the part, and go in there and sell yourself.
So you're saying I need to wear some bleached out clothes and stuff?
Yeah, not the shirt that I got bleached at training. No, not that one. No, just, honestly, I wear a suit and tie every day for pharmaceuticals. So I walk into these restaurants with a suit and tie on and ask for this GM. I know not everyone's going to be in a suit and tie, but you can easily wear a polo and some nice jeans and nice shoes and look good, look presentable, look like you belong there and like you mean it. I think that's very, very, very important.
What are some things we can do to be more confident in ourselves as on the sales side of things?
Man, that's a tough one. You gotta, first of all, get over this COVID stuff and get your butt out there and go door to door like today I did. On the way home from the quote I did today that I sold that job, I saw this house that was just nasty. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to literally pull into the driveway, and I'm walking up to the door, ringing it, step back a few feet. The guy came out and sold him on his house. It was just like, and you know what he said to me? This is exactly what he said. He said, this is the first time in I don't know how long that someone came door to door, and I think that is awesome. He's like, it shows that you actually want it. And I said, yeah, I do want it. And I have a child coming soon, and I want better for my child. So I do want it. I want it bad.
And so that's a good point of, wanting it and going out there and getting it.
Yeah.
As Ben put, everyone wants to be successful, but does everyone have the ambition it takes? Equipment is not the most important. And I agree 100% on that. And so talking about that, what are some things that you do to overcome those butterflies in your stomach of feeling the rejection that you're going to think that you may get?
Man, I'm gonna turn that back on you, Jason. What? Because I'm sort of like, you either got it or you don't, and sometimes you just got to wake up and you got to just want it, man. You put yourself in this position to be your own boss and to have your own company and have your own thing. So that's almost a slap in the face to yourself if you don't have the confidence in you to go get something. I just, I want to be as motivated as I can, but it's to the point where you just got to get up and go want it and go get it. Go put yourself in the position to be successful each day.
And I agree 100% on that. But these are the fears. And basically, this is going back to fears and self-limiting beliefs and doubts and things that a lot of new people struggle with. This is probably the biggest thing that makes people fail, is this right here of self-limiting beliefs and doubts, not being able to take the no's, that kind of thing at the end of the day. And so that's why, I'm kind of pushing you a little bit for these questions, because this is something that I want you to try to help other people to be able to overcome. And as somebody put, not that one. I like this guy. This guy likes to hustle, and that kind. I like this guy's hustle and that kind of thing. And so that is why I want to try to push on that a little bit of, how do we overcome those fears? How do we? What are some things that we can tell ourselves that will help us overcome those fears?
So it's as simple as you go look in your garage, you see the money you've probably already spent on the equipment and everything. It's time to go make that money back. And the only way to make that money back is by going and getting in front of people, going and hearing that no, because the no It's just a next opportunity to a yes. That's how I look. It's like stairs. It's a no, no, no. It's a yes. Because I'm telling you, with the sales jobs I've done, I get a no every single day. You think I'm supposed to be in these doctors' offices every day? No way. But I've made relationships, and they allow me to go back to the doctor. I get to speak with the doctor, and you do your job. So you need to just go in, make a relationship, go speak to the front desk. Don't even ask for the GM that day. Go talk to the front desk, and the next time you walk in there, maybe that gal or that guy will let you back to the boss. It's one step at a time. You're not going to do it every day, but you need to wake up in the morning. You need to know you're worth it and that you can go get it.
Absolutely. And you are your destiny. You are the determination of your destination at that point. Yes. You can choose it, whether you go out there and do it or you choose to sit on your couch.
We all want to be our own bosses. Now it's time to prove it. That's what I want to do. That's my goal.
I just make myself do it. One says no, the next says yes, and keep pushing the door to door. I was a fireman. I was at the firehouse, and most people know that there's not the most, I don't know how you can say it, be prudent and not go down the road too far, but we always had a guy always say that you turn enough rocks over, you're going to find it, and it's the same way with sales. You turn enough rocks over, you're going to get yeses. You're going to find lots of no's, but you will find yeses, and you just got to keep flipping those rocks over. And a lot of times it's a game, it's a numbers game. If we flip 10 rocks over, we get one yes. Then we know we got to flip over 1,000 rocks to get 100, and so that way we just got to keep doing it and keep moving it and keep going to we can keep getting those yeses. And, usually I always say, we're at a 50% close rate, 60% close rate. But usually what happens is your first 5 will be the no's, and then the next 5 will be the yeses. And so we got to get past the no's to be able to get to the yeses. And a lot of times we're getting past the no's because we might not be selling right. We might not be using the right script. We might not be listening for the right cues. We might be, that is some things that we just got to do and to be able to get there.
Yep.
Jason said he's going to hit 30,000 next month. That's his goal. One person, part-time as a pressure washer. And so it can be done. As a coach in sports, it's called next one up. It's the next one up. You probably have heard something about that a time or two, right?
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Same principle. I like no's because the odds go up to the next yes.
Yep. The more doors you hit, the better chance you have of closing a deal.
If you're not, and Jay, and this is Nick from Illinois. Nick is kind of an introvert, and when he came on last time, he was saying how much fun he didn't know he was really kind of the salesman at heart, and it's actually kind of fun for him. And so these are some things that you got to look at. So if you're getting the no, and you're always getting yes, then you're too cheap. Nobody's that good of a salesman. Up your prices. I think I may have said that about 200 times already. Raise your prices. And so that is definitely something that you got to do. 5 years ago, no's used to bother me. Now they excite me. And the reason why I'm really pushing on this is because this is something that is probably the number one thing that new people struggle with. They don't have confidence. And let's talk about that. How have you built your confidence to think that you're so good that you can just go out there and start selling stuff as of not even really know what you're doing?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Man, it's been years of selling, but even my first year of ever selling in wine, obviously you're going to get no's, but that's the fun part, because obviously all of us in this chat right now are competitors. So compete with yourself and compete with the people around you and go get yeses. And if this is your full-time job, my goodness, get out and go get it. I wish.
So let's do a little role play here. Let's do a little. I'm the customer, and you're going to sell me on this because
Yep.
somebody's asking advice on door-to-door pitch, and you just sold a guy. So let's talk about so if you come knocking on my door and I come out the door, what, I'm going to look at you kind of like, what do you
Yep.
want from me? So tell me how you're going to pitch me on that, or how you did it earlier today.
So I rang his doorbell. He came. Of course, the dogs are going nuts, and I'm like, "Hey, no worries. I don't want to bother you or nothing. You don't have to come out." And he was like, "I was like, I just wanted to drive by and stop by simply because I saw your house needed a little bit of pressure washing. Nothing against you, nothing crazy. Just saw that you needed a little work." And he said, "Oh, I've actually been thinking about doing that because they all have. Everyone sees their house and they know I need to pressure wash that thing. My neighbors are looking at me." So he said, "Leave me a card." And I said, "Yeah, we could do that." So I got in the car and I was backing up, and that little, relationship and kindness that I had him of, "Hey, just don't worry about it. Your dogs are going nuts." He stopped me again. So I got out of the car and he's like, "Can you quote me on this?" So I said, "No doubt." So I got the quote, walked around the house, came back. He's like, "Come back and knock on the door when you're done." So he came out, we spoke for 10 minutes. He's like, "My wife is actually hounding me about this. What are your pricing?" So I gave him my pricing and he said, "Done deal." And we closed the deal right there. So it's just like I said, it's a pain point. I knew it was a pain point because I know he sees what I'm seeing and it looked horrible. So it's time to get it changed.
Now, was this a $99 job, or what did you end up
No,
selling it for?
no, it was 400. 400. Yep. And
Now,
same
would
with
you have sold it for 400 if it was before my class?
No, probably not. No, no. I'm just throwing it out there because I want to know. If they give me a no, sweet. I know you're not my customer. Period.
Right.
Like you literally said that. If they say no, sounds good. They're not your customer. So that one was 4, and then the other guy too as well. His actually 450. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
And so, as the fireman here puts, it's like going to on call, Jason. You go on enough BS automatic fire alarms, sooner or later you're catching it out 2 windows. And if you lived in a little city like us, or the city that I used to be a fireman in, they haven't had a fire since my last structure fire, which was a year and a half ago. So,
Wow.
good. He thinks so. And some of that is nice that obviously the dogs were going nuts and they wanted to eat you, and they knew that you wasn't supposed to be there. But that didn't deter you. That could have been one that I don't want to go there. I don't want to bother that dogs and that kind of thing. So that's some things that you definitely got to look at and do that. And so moving forward, what are some things else are you going to do for marketing wise to try to get more work?
You said signs are a big thing. So I had those on order and they came while we were in Virginia. So I just ended up putting them out today. I want to ask you, Jason, and this will be good for everybody. Is there good days to put out signs or?
So usually Fridays is the best. I like putting them out on Fridays because people are going to start doing their yard work Friday. And usually your 2 biggest days for your phone to ring is usually going to be on Fridays and Mondays. And so those are your 2 big days that you're really going to be. And so a lot of times I like them to put them out on Friday. So that way, if you have the city that pulls them, usually they won't pull them, Friday afternoon, stuff like that. So then that way they'll sit out Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And then if they get pulled, they'll get pulled on Monday. And so Friday is my day of putting out signs. So that way they don't get pulled before the weekend. And then when they are out over the weekend, that's when people are out mowing their grass, thinking about that kind of stuff, going to Home Depot, doing all their little stuff. Home Depot, their busiest day for the homeowner is obviously Saturday morning. And so that's why I want my signs out that weekend.
And where are you putting them at a Home Depot? Where are you putting those signs?
I mean, I'm gonna put them at every major intersection, stuff like that. I'm gonna put them everywhere. I'm gonna put them. I pepper them babies everywhere. And usually, I try to work in I'll quarter different areas. So maybe this week I put the 25 signs down here. Next week I'm going to go up to the top part of the city, put 25. Next week I'm going to go over here and put here. And then that way when I come back around, I'm going to hit them all again. Every 4 weeks they're getting another new sign up there. Unless, if I know that they're a really good target area and I'm really getting a lot of hits off of a sign, then I might still keep putting some down there at that point.
And are you asking people when they call, hey, I want to just ask where you got my number from or how you
Usually, or they're going to tell you that they saw your sign, and so that's going to also tell you. The one thing I've been doing for like a couple people is I've actually been putting tracking numbers on them, so then that way I can tell which sign that it's getting called off of. Like I have DJ, he's got a red sign versus blue sign. We got some that say house washing versus pressure washing. And so that way we can see and track all them numbers at the end of the day. Because, it is nice to try to put everything out there, but it is nice to be able to track stuff, especially when we start trying to grow and scale. Then that's really how we want to be able to track that, so that way we can see, hey, it's coming in from here, or hey, it's coming in from there.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah, and I mean, you can put signs up at like stops or at like the end of subdivisions and stuff like that. That's fine too. But you're only going to get 20 or 30, 50 people going past that sign. I like really hitting the major intersections and stuff like that. Some things that you can do to be able to help get you can put them up on the poles, as somebody calls it, the Geiman pole, and that way you can do that. Jason, do you get more business off house washing or pressure washing? I kind of like the pressure washing better. House washing is kind of an industry lingo. It's kind of one of those that, everybody, we think house washing, but that's because that's what we do. But when we're talking about, the Joe Blow customer, most people are, even if I have a house washing sign up, they're going to call me and say, do you do pressure washing? And so, we want to use terms that aren't terms that we use. A lot of times we go down that road of, the terms of, just like I asked you kind of what you do. You didn't say I sell blood pressure medicine. You said I'm a pharmaceutical. And so I know what a pharmaceutical is. You could have said you sold blood pressure medicine, but you didn't. You knew words that I would know, so that's what you use. And the same thing we want to do is put it in the same text of that at the end of the day.
Well, I already did my first screw up. Then I have house washing signs. So,
and they might do fine. You don't know, and some of that is doing testing. Like I said, I have tracking numbers that I've given out to probably 6-7 people. I can do more if you would like, but that is one of the things that I've done, is because I wanted to data. I wanted to see what signs work and what signs don't. And even to the red works better than blue, or blue works better than yellow, or a sign with a logo versus a sign with no logo. I think, the one sign that DJ's been getting, and it's been getting a lot, and I never thought about it, and I think is put caller text, and it's a texting number, and he's gotten almost just as many texts that he has gotten as phone numbers. So
there's a lot of people don't want to call, and that's my thing. There's not many people that'll pick up the phone and want to call somebody. They want to text nowadays, so I think that's really smart.
And we've become a society that we don't want to. A lot of people, especially females, don't want to talk to people.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, females are the ones that that we talk to. Another thing I've heard, and it's kind of a thing, talking about 5-arounds, is somebody they go and put business cards in all the slots at the gas station. You put your business, so they got to pull the business card out to be able to put their credit card in. And we do a 5-around. We'll go do all the different pumps. And then that's just another way of getting our business information out there. Now, is that, is it something that is going to work? Well, maybe not. That's one of those things that, people getting gas, that might not all be our customer at the end of the day. We might hit some, but obviously if we hit a gas station that's next to a big apartment building, then that's probably not our customer. Now, if we're out in the country somewhere, there's a pretty good chance they probably own their own house and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin put something on here about Facebook, which he does a lot on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I would probably say is true, is, Tuesday through Thursday is social media. That's when he's posting a lot of that kind of stuff.
And why is that on a Tuesday through Thursday? Why is that?
Probably because Monday you actually got to work, and the same way with Friday, you're kind of got to do things before the weekend. And so Tuesday through Wednesday is probably your screw off days at work that you're trying to just get through the day. So that's what I would probably, if I was guessing, that's probably why those are good days to post on Facebook. And probably even with LinkedIn, I would say the same thing with LinkedIn. And we're probably the days I would be posting with LinkedIn too, because obviously I probably wouldn't be posting on the weekend much on LinkedIn. You might, but most of the time I would think LinkedIn is more of the business networking, and they're going to be thinking about stuff during the week and doing that during the week versus scrolling through LinkedIn on the weekends. But yeah, so the other thing that, and we kind of hit this on that other part there of overcoming fear. Fear is something that, I always preach that it's a good thing and can be a bad thing. Fear of falling off of a roof, that's a pretty damn good thing to have. Fear of going and knocking on that door, that is not a good thing. That is something that you have to overcome, and you have to do that to be able to grow your business. Yeah. Fear of answering your phone. And here's some ways that. Actually, I'm going to ask you first. What are some ways to overcome that fear of answering your phone, fear of that kind of stuff?
Oh man. I mean, as all of us as business owners, you see it as money coming, and it should excite you. It should really excite you. And you don't have to know everything. You don't, but just sound good, be polite. And my thing, I don't know if it works for you or not, but my thing, and it's always been my thing, even with my job right now with this COVID thing, everyone in the pharmaceutical world wants to do a virtual call with the doctor or something like that. No, I think in-person sales is the most important thing, because you can really get to know somebody. You can really make a relationship, and it's hard to say no to someone in person. So I think getting in person with that person, when you get on the phone, let's get in person so we can go and I can really give you a fair quote, and I can walk your house and see what's going on. So that's my goal.
And I agree on that. And that's just kind of where I wanted to hit on too, is there's no fear once you get your pitch right, and it's like clockwork. And it's about practicing it. If you're not a natural talker like Tanner is here, it's one of those things that you set this daggone phone up and you record yourself doing your pitch over and over and over. You call your mama, you call your brother, you call whoever, and you do that pitch. So that way you get that comfortable, you get what you need to do, you understand what you got to do. Especially, like I say, if you're like Tanner and you can just BS your way through it and you can just hammer down, that's fine. But what I see a lot of times is in this industry, a lot of people getting into this industry are not the salesman type. They're more of the technician type. And when you're the technician type, sales is not an easy as not having it. If you're a technician, you're all about the work and not so much about the sales side of things. And so to overcome those fears is to make sure that you are, doing your pitch, you're practicing it, you're doing it. And the next thing is learn more about sales. Go read sales books. Go listen to podcast sales. Go find Facebook groups, not about pressure washing, but about sales. They're out there. And that is what you can do. It's just like me. I listen to a lot of marketing stuff. Why? because that's what excites me. That's what I know that it can help me grow my business and help you all grow your business by me learning everything I can about marketing. But you can also do the same thing about sales. There's books out there. Go listen to Grant Cardone. Go listen to people that love sales and can just speak about sales, because a lot of people struggle about sales.
And
And
that's, yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. No, it's saying like just how I want to be the best technician. So I wanted to go and meet Jason and go actually learn how to do it. And now I feel a lot more confident, but it's not just like I just woke up one day and was able to sell things. I have worked tirelessly to learn and to grow and to be around people and to put myself in other people's shoes and pay for training and do all these different things that have brought me to where I am today. And hopefully I'm able to really latch on to the technician part, which I think I will. I'm gonna work my butt off at it. So I know I'm going to. I'm never gonna just sit here and let myself fail. So just like all of us, we want to go get it, and it's time to do it. No matter what side of the ball you're on, sales, doing it, whatever it is, you need to be the best at everything. And not everyone is going to be the best at everything, but you can work harder and learn more things about each side of the business. So,
and that's exactly why the sales side of things is a lot of times people struggle with that. I'm not a big fan of sales. I don't push a lot of sales. I mean, I could be pushing pressure wash training, that kind of stuff. I don't push it that way. My free pressure washing, all that kind of stuff. I don't push it that way. And I didn't even push it that way in the pressure washing when I owned the pressure washing business. I did a lot of responsibility. Reason why? It sells itself. I can give them 3 packages and it upsells themselves. I don't have to sit there and tell them crap. Hey, you're going to get an email that's going to give you a quote. I'm going to call you tomorrow to make sure that you got that quote. And now I'm going to try to see what package you want, because it's all going to sell itself. And so there's ways to get around things that you can do. But the biggest thing that you got to do is go out there and take action. Even if you're scared to death of going out there and knocking on doors or putting out signs. I have a lot of people, they are scared to death to go put signs out. And it goes back to what Tanner was saying with sales, and even this. You got to remember that you got mouths to feed, and you got kids that are hungry, and you're hungry. And if you want to get fed, this is what you have to do to go get that. Go out there, kill it, and bring it home. And that's what you got to do. You can't worry about somebody looking at you or honking at you, putting out signs or going knocking on doors or whatever. You have to think about it as, this is what is going to make me put food on the table, and is what's going to put clothes on my kids, myself, my wife, that kind of thing. And those right there are probably the biggest thing that I know people struggle with. I mean, I had some people in my group the other day of, man, I'm scared to death to go put these signs out. Somebody going to see me. DJ, he'll go put them out at midnight so nobody don't see him. You know what? Screw them people. If they don't like me putting out a sign, then I don't know what to tell them what to do, but who cares? Exactly. So let me see what he. Go ahead.
On that, I just think, and that's why I did this pressure washing stuff. Like I'm selling pharmaceuticals. I wanted to challenge, and if a challenge to you is being able to go up to a door, go and do that challenge. Because once you get a win, they just keep snowballing, and you keep getting a win in your mind. And that's my biggest thing. I wake up early and I get a workout because I know the other guy's not doing that, because I want a win, and I see a win in my mind, and it just is like a snowball effect. And I just think a win in your mind is so very important, and just keep going. Keep going.
The worst no you can get is the no you tell yourself. Learn to overcome objections. When speaking to a customer, talk to them as if you've already won the bid, using the correct words, body language. What? You mean body language has got something to do with it too? That awkward moment you have 3 weeks booked but now you have to go and do them.
That's correct.
Benjamin put exactly right. The data shows that the best days are Tuesday and Thursday. More people are online. That will react to your message. Weekends, they are in the entertainment mode.
That's very good. I like that.
I was scared to put out signs as well. I was afraid of getting call from the cops over a sign. Regulations is in different areas. You just got to do it and do it. That's why we need to read books to overcome our fears. Yep. They're not paying your bills and feeding your children. That's why you got to go put them signs out. Make money for yourself or someone else. That's a very valid point right there. So, with that said, Tanner, what would you say? Anything for anybody what are some good positive words that we can leave before we jump off here?
I'm so excited to be a part of a group of good people like this. I've seen nothing but awesome people that have been helpful and, caring and really wanting other people to see other people succeed. And that's what I want to see is every one of us succeed. This is an awesome industry that really not that many people are in. Everyone says their place is saturated. That it is what it is. There's so many customers out there, and it's just time to get up and go get it. Change your own mind and go get it.
Yep. Amen. So, Jason, is there any checklist before we start pressure washing the house? Yep. You can go to.
I got an answer for that.
Go ahead.
You get it right here if you go to the training.
And you learn everything about the checklist, right?
Yeah. We learned it in person, then walked through it. Walked through it through the training, and then we went to the house and literally step by step, Jason held our hand and did it. It was awesome. I'm not nervous at all to do these jobs I got to do. So now, will you use that checklist or something like that when you get your business going and up and running? I'm using this for sure. Yeah, I'm going to use this for sure because there's so many little things that a new guy wouldn't know, and this is going to be very helpful to me.
You don't know what you don't know. What are some of the little things that you learned that you didn't know that you thought you knew?
There's plenty of them on this checklist. Just let's look at this little one. And it was on the house actually today, the shotgun fungus. I had no idea what that was. Like me and those other guys in the class were saying, sitting there trying to scrape it off our houses, but you just have to tell the customer, we can't get that off. So that's just one thing that would turn a job and give you a 1-star instead of a 5 if you didn't know how to tell them that. So I'm very thankful for little information like that. And the oxidation, what else is there? There's plenty of stuff. All the windows and doors, don't be messing with those crazy doors like you said. There's just so many little things. I'm not going to say it all. Go in person and go learn for yourself. It is awesome.
Awesome. So we're going to jump off here again. Somebody said he's about an hour and a half north of me. He must be down in Chicago. And you can be your own worst enemy, and that is 100% true. So again, go out there, figure it out, get it done. I do have training coming up. You can check it out at kingofpressurewash.com/training dates. There's a link down in the bottom. You can also go check out pressurewashhelp.com, kingofpressurewash.com, and find out more information. I do have a blog kind of going on King of Pressure Washing, so you can go check that out. You can go check out my podcast. I know a lot of people are starting to listen to my podcast. So Tanner listened to my last podcast, and it was horrible. And I got that fixed. There was a little ticking going through that one. I did get that fixed, thank God. I found out about it, and I went and got taken care of. And yes, Jason screws things up too. And so, you just keep pushing. And so you can go check that out at kingofpressurewash.com/podcast and get all my podcasts and stuff. And so you can listen in the car as you're driving. So Hope you all have a great week. This week is hopefully your phone will start ringing and blowing up because the weather's starting to turn here. Hopefully rain don't get into a rainy season, but if we do, you just got to deal with it. See you all later, and I appreciate it very much. Hang on, and we'll get off here.